Alright, today I am going to be a plate tamper mechanic. I've only worked on these maybe a couple times, honestly, ever. So I guess we're going to see. This one will not go forward and back, is the story. And I think this one won't go in reverse direction. So let's fire them up and see what the problems are. Not much happens with that one. Honestly, I have no idea how these things are controlled. Usually they take them in somewhere else, but I guess the wait time is pretty crazy, and they asked if I wanted to look at them. I said I'd water your garden if they let me send an invoice for it, so I'd take on basically anything. What is this, the throttle? Off, on. So that is throttle. Alright, that one does not go in reverse, and this one does not go forward or back. Alright, so I called a buddy who's a contractor. He's got some plate tampers, or has used them. And I said, one of these don't go forward and back. What's your first guess? And he said, check the plug, check the oil in the handle here. I had no idea that there was oil in here, so there's actually a fill plug right here. And sure enough, it looked like it was pretty well near empty. So I filled it up to where I thought would be a decent level, and we're gonna fire up and see See if it made any difference. Well, that didn't make a difference. So I was reading on the online manual, just what they give on Google, and I can pull some covers off. I think cover here, and there's a way to bleed the air from the handle. We'll try that. Okay, so I filled up the handle, tried it out, didn't make a difference. Online it says there's a bleed screw down here that you can crack open to bleed the handle. So we're going to try that out. Alright, so there's another plate tamper in here. I'm going to try it and see just how it drives. I think this one works. So it has to be at least half throttled. I just tried that with the other machine. Didn't make a difference. So I wonder if there's a coupler or something broken. I wonder if it just happened all of a sudden. I should ask the operators that question. Because if it happened just all of a sudden, they lost forward reverse and it's not packing, there probably is a coupler somewhere. Okay, there's a cover on the other side of this tamper, which it looks like on the side of the engine. I'm assuming there's going to be some kind of pulley. We're going to find out, and we'll soon know if we'll soon know if there's some kind of coupler or V-belt. I'm going to assume it's a belt of some sort. Aha! Aha! Ah! There's a belt, and it is not in place. I'd say that's a smoking gun there. No wonder it wasn't vibrating. And I guess I could hear this freewheeling when I shut it off. Should that freewheel? Probably not. I'm gonna go check the other machine. Alright, so I just tightened up this bolt here. Just checked on the other machine. It feels alright. Originally it was loose, it would just spin on the shaft, or not really sure. I think the customer has a spare one of these machines that's got a bad engine in it, so maybe we'll be able to rob a belt off it. We'll see, but either way we're gonna get a belt, and we'll get a belt for it and test it out. Alright, here's the dead one in her resting place in the back corner. I was told it needed an engine, but haven't been able to start since. Suspect starter, fuel system was bogging down, clean sediment. Anyway, you can add missing belt to the list if there is a belt on it. Aha! There is a belt. That means... oh no, did I bring the wrong size? To one. That was weird. It's like a centrifugal clutch. And how much of a pain is it going to be? Alright, get the used belt on there. Let's see if this works. Alright guys, so these belts, they are not the same. This one's definitely a lot thicker than this one, and this one's just a little bit bigger in diameter, so we're gonna have to get the proper belt, but I'm sure it'll drive forward and back once we get the right belt on. Alright guys, a day later after looking into this plate tamper, we got our new belt from Battlefield. I tried swapping one from a dead machine, but it just wasn't the same belt. The rib wasn't the same size, so I put it on, it wouldn't drive. So we'll see if this belt makes a difference. Alright, I just swapped clutch. So I just put that one on. It is from this machine here that works. I just put the belt on, tried it, didn't work. So I'm wondering if it's the clutch. Doesn't look like the clutch is sliding in and out. And it is a centrifugal clutch. So we'll see. So it needs a clutch as well. That was the fix. Belt, clutch. Guess we'll see how long. I had a buddy tell me that he had a belt shred and it would go through multiple belts. And the bottom for the vibe plate was seized. It would seize up when the bearings were hot. So he just told me to run it for a bit, make sure that it doesn't happen again. So we'll do that.